The First Lady, Melania Trump, has filed a lawsuit against Hunter Biden when Hunter Biden said that Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to President Trump. Now, Hunter Biden was merely quoting Michael Wolff. And now the Pinko podcasters are all excited, talking about this and chatting it up. And I would like to point out some of their inconsistencies and how Michael Wolff showed a little bit too much leg about his books and how he does his work and his sources.
It's lawsuit time. In my hand is a legal demand letter addressed to Mr. Hunter Biden from the First Lady of the United States, demanding a retraction of Channel 5's video called Hunter Biden Returns, in which Mr. Biden here makes some speculative comments about the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, Melania Trump, and Donald Trump. Mrs. Trump is seeking $1 billion in damages if we don't take the video down, and if Hunter here doesn't issue a formal apology to Mrs. Trump. So now we're here, maybe to give you the platform to apologize to the First Lady for your statements that you made about her possible connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
Fuck that. That's not going to happen. First of all, is that what I said was what I have heard and seen reported and written, primarily from Michael Wolff.
Her husband is being accused of some of the worst things under the sun. And he is actively, let's see, what's the most sugar-coated way you can, the best faith version of this is he's acting really strange when it comes to releasing more information on Epstein. Calling it BS, it's a hoax. Anyone asking about that, they're a fake supporter, and shut up about it altogether. And in a moment like that, his wife, especially given who Epstein was and what people are saying Trump would be covering up, you would think that his wife would come out and say, hey, I'm his wife. Melania is nowhere to be found except sending threatening legal letters when her name is brought up. So when people say things that aren't even yet substantiated about what a crime Trump could have done, and that's why he's not covering this up, no word from Melania.
Look, I want to be nice. But this is how you know this young guy's a lib. We don't want our wife to go out and argue for us and fight for us, and we hide behind our wife. That's what you guys do. Bill sends out Hillary. Obama sends out Michelle. Trump fights his own battles. I don't agree. I actually agree with this young man about how Trump has handled it poorly. But President Trump fights his own battles. He doesn't sick Melania on people. That's strange to liberal men because, that's their idea of men. Now, let's cut back to Hunter. He diverts the subject of this lawsuit and talking about Trump and Epstein. He diverts into this crazy essay, abuse tirade.
There is an epidemic, if not a pandemic, in this country, and globally. Okay, in the way in which adults, particularly adults that are family members and figures of authority.
The bottom half of that picture is Hunter Biden wielding his authority right into the mouth of an artist that he procured in L.A. Hunter's relationship with Zoe Kestan led to this kind of debacle and these type of photos he would take. Now, I don't know if she was his pimp or if he's actually stuffing it into Zoe herself. And so here's Hunter treating this girl like human foie gras, stuffing that duck. And I just want you to have this image in mind while he goes on about what a great feminist he is here.
Treat children, not just girls, but in the majority of instances, girls. And I mean girls from 3 years old to 18 and beyond. And what this could do, in my opinion, is make it that much harder for any little girl that is being abused, by her stepfather or her father or her brother.
We're going to get back to Michael Wolff here, but this was too rich to pass up. As documented in a court case, this is Ashley Biden's authentic diary. And she talks about being hyper-sensualized at a young age. She talks about doing it with friends at a young age. Inappropriate showers with her dad. And then beating her vajayjay due to hearing her parents getting it on. But wait, there's more. Hunter Biden was banned from seeing his niece. Hallie Biden, Beau Biden's widow, banned Hunter Biden from seeing her daughter. The dude's phone was loaded with pictures of her in various states of undress. She was a teenager, underage. I don't know how much money this comedian podcaster has been paid for this phony baloney resurrection of Hunter Biden, but I hope he can sleep at night taking that money. Let's get back to the lawsuit and the sources of Michael Wolff.
Look, this has been so widely reported and talked about It is not in any way, particularly when I'm attributing it to the source of which I heard it from, in any way remotely in the realm of defamation.
That source is Michael Wolff.
And then I began, in fact, to write about Donald Trump, and Epstein became a source, a valuable source.
That book was Fire and Fury. I read that book. It was mildly entertaining, but mostly fiction, and now we know why. One of the primary sources of the book was Jeffrey Epstein. This grifter wrote a book allegedly about a presidential campaign, getting his information from Jeffrey Epstein. I don't remember him crediting Epstein when he was selling this book. Unbelievable. To his credit, this young comedic podcaster who's resurrecting Hunter asked a tough question of Wolff. He asked Wolff for a specific instance in which Epstein and Trump interacted, like a crazy moment, and Wolff couldn't come up with it.
Again and again and again, everything sticks out because it's obviously Donald Trump who's the president of the United States, and it's involves Jeffrey Epstein, one of the notable monsters of our time.
A notable monster of our time, but a very credible source if you're Michael Wolff.
As far as Epstein's role, do you think that he was some sort of, blackmail agent, or do you think that he was more just an elite person with, who was intent on victimizing young women?
Well, I know, I don't know anything about blackmail, if that occurred. Nothing I ever saw with Epstein indicated that would have gone on.
I don't know how you can take this guy seriously when he says Jeffrey Epstein wasn't involved in blackmail somehow. That is just, he's closing his eyes willingly. It's ridiculous. Sourcing his first book to Epstein is ridiculous. It was a ridiculous read. And this whole circus, the libs only discovered Epstein after they could tie him to a Republican candidate. But I just want to point out that everything Donald Trump did with Epstein, he did as a Democrat.